should be live here. We'll give this a quick share and get people notified that this is what we're doing tonight. There we go. Hello, Amanda. How are you doing tonight? Great to see we already have someone in the chat. So, gonna go ahead and kick this thing off. And I've already given this a share where it needs to be shared, so hopefully more will pop in. First of all, no stream last night due to the fact that there was quite a bit of thunderstorm activity in my area. So, and with thunderstorm activity, there generally is lightning, and when there's lightning, there's always a potential for power outages. And so, because of that, I felt I am not going to stream, because if I end up with a power outage, there goes my entire stream. So, therefore, it was going to be a Ernie Harwell game. What we will do is, not sure if it's going to be tomorrow night now, or Friday night, one of the two. We are going to do a doubleheader to make that up. So, I'm good, thanks. Well, apart from it's too hot, but good. Well, how are you? I'm doing good, thank you, Amanda. Robbie the meteorologist. Yes. Hi, Beals eternally. Yep. So that's why I did not get to do anything last night. So either tomorrow night or Friday night, we will be doing a doubleheader, Ernie Harwell doubleheader of sorts. 2 streams in one night to make that up. I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow night, if it's going to be Friday night, because tomorrow tonight we are on the eve of an action PC sports game that I actually will not mention the sport so that Beatles eternally does not get too upset. So, but we're on the eve of the release of that, so that is something that I will be fiddling around with, and I don't know if I'm going to do a stream on it tomorrow night or not. I may let it sit and do something more baseball related. That other sport can bugger off, says Veals eternally. Can bugger off. So yeah, so tonight I was going to do an Ernie Harwell game, and then something came up, and I've gotten a few questions about out of the park baseball. So I thought, what would be more fun than to kind of show off out of the park baseball and what it does. So tonight we are going to be doing that. Now I'm going to be using Out of the Park 20 for this. However, I think for those that have previous versions, correct me if I'm wrong here, Beatles, but most of the things that Out of the Park 20 can do, with the exception of probably the upgrades that have been made in Out of the Park 20, can be done in earlier versions like 18 and 19, correct? So Out of the Park is the best, no matter what other entities think. Yeah, that is true, and you know, the reason I want to show this off is because there is so much you can do with this game. There is a lot you can do with this game, and we are going to delve right into what you can do with this game, starting right now. This is the Out of the Park 20 home screen. Now, if you have 18 or 19, you're going to have a similar screen. However, if you're on 19 or 20, will you see this perfect team business here? I'll go ahead and explain this just briefly. I may delve into it a little bit more later, but right now, I'll just say that Perfect Team is kind of a card collection, online play against other people, online player versus player experience, where you're put in leagues and games are simulated out based upon rosters of players who you have cards for. There is a way you can earn more cards. There are ways you can earn more cards and such, and the ways you can do so is expanding even more. They're going to be adding tournaments hopefully soon. But yeah, you know, it's kind of an online mode controlled by the game, so and other entities have proclaimed it as it is inaccurate. Those other entities were dropped on their heads as jokes. Good one, Beatles. Good one. Yeah. And I may delve into, you know, showing just how accurate it can be, or how confident the folks at Out of the Park Developments are in their game eventually here. And a little later on, but for right now, let's delve into what does Out of the Park Baseball do? Well, it does a lot. You can start a standard game, which is you can play with 2019 MLB and or international rosters, meaning you can go into standard game. Now, here's another thing that comes up is challenge mode. Challenge mode, I never play it. But things like commissioner mode, fantasy draft, and the player editor are all disabled. Certain league rules and setting adjustments are also disabled. There's a lot of things that are disabled in order to make it a challenge for you. I tend to not play challenge mode because I kind of like to create worlds and watch them play out, and that is one of the ways you can play this game, and I'll delve into that in a little bit too. So, we're not going to enable challenge mode. We're just going to show this off. And here's where you can select what leagues you want to add to your game. You can add Major League Baseball. You can add U.S. Independent Leagues, the Mexican League, the Cuban Baseball League, the Japanese Leagues, the Korean Baseball Organization, Chinese Pro Baseball League, Australian Baseball League, the Italian League, one from Germany, one from France, Czech Republic, Spain, and then you have the World Cup of Baseball can also be put in there as well. You can also, in Out of the Park 20, have live start, which will start the game today. If I were to start it using live start, it would start on April 24th with updated MLB and minor league regular season standings, stats, ratings, and transactions. For more advanced options, please use. But yeah, so you can play along with the season using this live feature in Out of the Park 20. It's only in Out of the Park 20, so. But we're just going to back out of this because I want to show what else this can do. I'll check on the chat real quick. You can play the current season as it unfolds. That is correct, Beatles. That is correct. Strat can't do that. No, it can't. Well, actually, Strat does have a 365 or a live thing to it. But it's only updated every now and then. I forget what it is called. But yeah. They have a way you can do it. I've never tried it, but because I don't play Strat PC really anymore, because it's just, I won't get into that, but it is there. Hello, Bobby Catalano. How are you doing tonight? Right, Strat update, but Out of the Park is simultaneous. Strat bites. Yeah, Strat does bite, so yeah. Yeah, they bite. Their customer service definitely bites. But yeah. So that is basically how you start a standard game. You can also do a historical game. And again, you'll get the same challenge mode thing. We will just say no thank you to that. And the next thing you do is you select what era you want to play. So let's say, for fun of it, let's pick Dead Ball, and we'll go to 1908. You can also import the complete history up to 1908, import real minor leagues. If you have 1915 plus, we do not. So we would not be doing that. You can also use random players from all eras instead of real rosters. And then you can optimize player ratings for single season replay or career play. So if it's single season replay, you would want to select single season replay. And then you want to go on to the next step. And I probably just created a league. Oh well, I can delete it later if I want, or I could leave it, I don't know. So, it's doing its thing here, slowly but surely. I was just checking on the chat, not much going on there. Sorting database, let's see, it's probably going to create a league. I can probably show some stuff off within this league. Who knows, I may keep it, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I just want to be able to show off everything, so are you going to show any newbies how to set up ballparks? Beatles? Believe it or not, I have not set up a ballpark yet in this game, so I don't know how. So, this first video is mainly to show what this game can do. And we may, well, okay, here we are. Real life transactions, use real life historical transactions or not. Use real historical lineup. You know what, I'm going to leave those unchecked. Not going to have any minor leagues. And we're just going to create this, so, because I can show off what this game can do. This is just various settings to set for your league as you go through. And then here is where you name your game. You can autosave. You also can put in your manager name. And then you can choose your play role. Your role, whether you're manager, general manager, or GM and manager. I'm going to leave GM and manager. I'm going to put in commissioner mode. And you can also, if you really are a beginner, I highly recommend this if you're really new, especially to baseball, that you tick this next box that says cannot be fired, because that will make the difficulty a lot easier on you, because if you have a bad season in whatever league, with whatever team and whatever league you decide to play with, you won't get fired. The owner will not fire you at all. So, and one of the nice things you can do is you can also just start unemployed, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start unemployed. And we're just going to start the game. No, check them. What was I supposed to check, Beatles? Can I fix it somehow? Can I fix it somehow? Because I was not paying attention to the chat, so... Too late now. Okay, sorry. Well, it's just gonna be... I'm probably not gonna keep this for long, and if I want to go back and play it again, I can fix that on my own. But I'm just doing this to show what you get inside a game here, and this is what you're gonna get inside of a historical game. Now, this is basically your manager's office here. And as you can see, I don't manage a team, so my next game is nothing there. The standings, you do not manage a team, so as long as I don't manage a team, well, but you can go to these drop-down boxes. There's File, that allows you to save game and go back to the start screen and exit out of the park. The game will be saved if you exit out of the park. You then can go to Game home screen, news, score, schedule, explore the world, history index, almanac, in-game settings. Then you have your manager name, manager's office, mail and news, GM and manager actions, and stuff like that. That's your manager menu. Then here's where it really gets interesting. This is your league, Major League Baseball in this case. You can go to the off-season center. You can also go to the home page, and it looks kind of like a web page for the league, with standings at the bottom, league leaders as well for teams, and then batting and pitching individual leaders, league news. You can also see the news. You can go to the standings. The scores, of course, there is no scores yet. However, we go one day in advance, and I will show you how to do that. I will advance the day here in a minute. Schedule, and it'll come up with the schedule for the days for each day coming up, as well as game times. Yes, Out of the Park does do game times, which I find really nice. Statistics. This is for league leaders and all. Transactions. Reports and info. Logs, league history and all. And that's really all there is to that. The next menu is where you can select any team you want. So let's go blah blah blah, Philadelphia Athletics, why not? You select them. You can then go to their team home screen, which I am on. Their player list. See all their players. Rosters and transactions. See their pitching staff. Lineups and depth charts. Very important menu option there if you want to set the lineups and all that. Strategy. Then you have front office stuff. You can also view their schedule. And other info as well. Team history. Shows a lot of their history and all that. And that's really where it is. So I'm going to take it back to the league home screen here. Now let's check on the chat real quick. I know I'm showing off quite a bit here. Robbie, remember the great sports, says Robbie Warburg. What is up, my friend? I own Out of the Park 11, so I'm a little familiar with this. Yeah, I'm showing Out of the Park 20, so it's like 9 versions newer, and there's a lot more to it now than what was in Out of the Park 11. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so yeah, it just looks like a lot of chatter. I know I'm showing off a lot of stuff at once here, a lot of content, so but I'm going to show you now how to advance the day. So you go to play, and you click on finish today since there's no games, and it will finish all day. It has no games, and get to the next day games. Okay, I'm just making sure nobody has any real questions at this point, you know, because I'm always happy to take questions. seems like everybody's doing good. So let this load here. Generating MLB season predictions. Okay. We're at opening day. Okay. As you notice down below, there's a ticker that shows what games are going on during the day. And now you have a few options when it comes to playing these games. You can go to, I hit the wrong thing, not schedule, but scores under the league menu, which brings up that day's games. You have a couple options. You can manage any game you want on the schedule. You can quick play any game you want on the schedule and go one by one that way. Or, and this is kind of a favorite of mine when it comes to leagues. When it comes to leagues, this is kind of a favorite of mine to do. To get a day played easily so that you don't have really unfinished seasons, you can go to play and then you'll see either finish today. You can finish today and that will autoplay every single game on the schedule that has not been played automatically. It'll quick play them. Or you can go down to real-time simulation. The real-time simulation allows you to watch every single game on that day be played out in real time. And it goes pitch by pitch, out by out, and it's real time. It's like as if you were watching and keeping an eye on the scores on a website, on a league's website, if it were a real life league. So this is one of my favorite features that Out of the Park Baseball has. I think it was like Out of the Park 13 is when this was introduced, if I remember correctly. But it is one of my favorites for trying to get games completed, days completed, and keep the season moving. So, and then you have options to autoplay until a specific date. You can autoplay a week, a month, a whole year. You can autoplay to events like the trading deadline, roster expansion, the end of the regular season, the start of the playoffs, draft pool announcement, first year player draft, or you can autoplay till the playoffs end. Now there's something here, simulation module. I just want to see what that is here. Simulation module. Looks like you can select two teams and play a best of 3, 5, 7, or a single one-game elimination, best of 9 series, or an entire season. Beatles, have you ever tried this? I just noticed this, so I'm not going to fiddle with it right now. If it's something that messes up your season, I don't know if it is or not. Let's check on the chat here real quick and see what's going on. You guys having a choppy stream? I don't think I'm having stream issues. Let me check. No, my stream light is green. I don't know what's going on there. Not quite sure what's going on there. Hello, Al Red Sox fan. How are you doing tonight? Beatles Eternally. No, I don't. Nope, I don't like the simulation module. Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about it, so. Stream's fine now, Robbie, says Amanda. Okay, well, yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Sorry about that. If frames did get lost, I'm not sure, because I just checked the light and it's green, so. Okay, so far, I've shown basically how you can play games within a league. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just save this particular season, because who knows, I may come back to it later. But I want to be able to show off what else you can make with Out of the Park Baseball, because I've gone over how you can do a standard real life game, a historical game, and now I'm going to take it back to the start screen. If it will not mind doing so. Here we go. I'm doing well, thanks, Al. Are you going to show how to play game, Robbie? Yeah, I can end off with playing a game, I suppose. Yeah. I'll end off with it because I'm not going to play. I'm not going to stream a full game, so it'll be one of the things I end off with. How about that? Okay. Now, the next thing you can do is a custom game. And this is where Out of the Park really can shine as a sandbox. It is a sandbox. It is a great sandbox. And a very accurate sandbox. And you can do quite a lot with it. So you click on custom game, you get rid of the challenge mode thing. If you want to do challenge mode, you can, it's up to you. Now, options come up in a wizard. You can create a real world league, you can create a fictional league, or you can create a historical league. So, this is basically the real world league and the historical league appear here in this custom game, because custom is where you really get into sandbox mode and you can do whatever you want with this. You can go as crazy as you want. I have seen some really crazy things on Out of the Park forums. I remember seeing somebody did a Lord of the Rings league with fictional teams and such. So you can really go crazy if you put in the time and the effort to do so. And so I've shown real world and I've shown historical, so I'm going to show fictional. So we click on create fictional league, and now here's where we can select various league structures. We can have up to 40 teams in the league. I'm going to go 2 sub-leagues, 2 divisions each, 24 teams, just to show this off. You can also choose select a real world league configuration to base it off of, if you want to. And then you can also, once you select what you want for a predefined structure, you can still edit that structure. You can change it to 1 sub. You can change the number of divisions in the sub-leagues to as many as you want. You can change the number of teams in each division to as many as you want. The possibilities are endless, but I'm just going to leave it as it is for now and go on to the next step. And we're going to let this load. And now here's where you can configure everything about your league. You can select the nation that it's from. You can select the league's region. You can name the league. You can give it its own abbreviations. You can also change the league level to whether it's Major League, AAA, AA, Class A, Short Season A, Rookie League, Independent League, International League, a College League, or a High School League even, if you want to go so far as to do that. The no region, select a region. If you do this, you have quite a few options. You can auto region, baseball quality 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 nations, or 0 nations. I have never played with those because I don't know what those do. But you can also go based upon U.S. regions: East Coast, New England, Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, South Atlantic, Southeast, Gulf Coast, Delta, Appalachia, Great Lakes, Central, Midwest, Upper Midwest, Great Plains, Southeast, Desert Southwest, Rocky Mountains, Pacific Northwest, Far West, West Coast. And then you can go based upon U.S. states if you want to. You can have, like, say I live in Texas, you can have an entire league for Texas. So if I were to go down to U.S. state Texas and click on that, watch what happens. All the teams, cities, have changed to be teams, to be cities within Texas. So you can do that. You can also go down even farther and you can go to U.S. territories like District of Columbia, American Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, intercontinental U.S. territory, USA and territories, USA, Canada and territories, all of U.S. and Canada, then various regions of U.S. and Canada, USA and Canada. You can do just Canada regions, Canadian provinces, Canadian territories, U.S. and Mexico. You can do the Americas, U.S., Canada, Mexico. You can do all North America. You can do West Indies. You can do the Caribbean, Central America. You can even then get into Europe. You can have Europe at large, Europe, United Kingdom, Western Europe, Northern Europe, Southern Europe, Eastern Europe, intercontinental leagues. Then you can also do Africa. You can have leagues out of Africa if you wanted to. Asia, intercontinental, Oceania, Pacific Rim, Southern Hemisphere, intercontinental world, all nations. So you can really go international with your league if you want to. And then off to the right you can choose any and all or none minor leagues for your league. So yeah, you really can do a lot with creating a league anywhere practically you want. Greg Ling, how are you doing tonight? Not too many Europe baseball players. This is true. However, when you do a fictional league, you're not getting necessarily players, real life players. Your league will be populated with fictional players. So, and it could still be that you have players from other countries that are not in Europe that go play in Europe. It can happen. So, you will have fictional players that are generated by the game. And then you go to the next step. Let's leave it at Texas. And then you can select the standard settings, whether it's 2019 settings. You can automatically adjust league strategy when advancing to new year. You can hold an inaugural fantasy draft if you choose to. If you do this, then all the team rosters start as blank, and there will be a fantasy draft in which you can, with your team, pick the players you want, or you can have the computer auto-run the draft if you want to. You can set what date the season is to start. You can set how many games, and then the typical series length, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 games. I'm just going to leave that alone. And then you go through all these various settings for scouting and stuff. Face gen as well. Enabling automatic evolution of the league will allow it to change rules, relocate teams, or expand the league by teams, by adding teams. If this is checked, then this will happen on occasion. And then you choose your manager again. You start again. So you go all the way to start unemployed. You can play in commissioner mode. Cannot be fired. It basically is the same thing at this point as what I did with the historical thing. So now I will just completely cancel this. And we will see how the chat is doing here. Bye, Beatles. Hope you enjoyed, my friend. So far, does anyone have any questions before I get into the next bit of this? None from Amanda. Let's play some balls, says Remember the Great Sports. We'll get there. We'll get there. Still got a bit more to show off, and then we can get into the start of a ball game. So, and you can load games you have saved. You can automatically continue a game you have saved. And then you go down here to show more modes. This is in Out of the Park 20, of course. It may not be the same on Out of the Park 19. You can import an Out of the Park 19 game. So say you've started a game in Out of the Park 19, you go and you buy Out of the Park 20, and you really enjoy a game you're playing in Out of the Park 19. You can bring that into Out of the Park 20 and continue it. You don't have to start over. You do not have to start over. And then the next thing is historical exhibition. You can play a series or tournament between historical teams. Let's go into that, shall we? Here's where you can set up your historical exhibition series or tournament. If you want to just be 2 teams, you can, and you can select what era you want the teams to be from, based upon what World Series they're from. You can select 2 teams or a World Series, including actual World Series rosters, so you can replay a World Series with actual as-played rosters from that World Series. Or you can choose any team you want from any era in baseball history. You select the era, you select the year, and then you select the team. And there's information about that season that pops up. And then you have series length, best of 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. You can choose a series mode, and what this is basically the team that's chosen as the home team, in this case, gets the first 2 games at home. The team that's the visiting team would then get the next 3 games at home if this were a best of 7 series done this way. And then if it goes to game 6, it goes back to the original home team's field and stays there for a game 7 if necessary. Basically, you can have, though, a 4-game sweep, in which case only 2 games would get played at each team's ballpark. You can select whether you want designated hitter on or off for both teams. You can choose which era you're playing in, which is weird because it only has default modern era there. Rosters can be opening day or the end of season rosters. Active roster limit can be set to as many players as you want, up to 40. And you can enable or disable injuries. The next thing you can do with this mode is you can do historical tournaments. And the way you do this is you choose how many teams you want to be in your tournament, all the way up to 70 teams. That is the max, it looks like. We're going to put it at 8 teams and show you this. You then select the era for each team, the season year for each team, and then you choose that team for each team. Just like as if you're choosing for a series or a one-off game. You can then go in at the next step. You can also choose whether designated hitter is off or on. And the same era and strategy, rosters, and such. And I'm just going to and then you go in and you choose the teams, which I'm just choosing kind of random teams because I don't intend to really play this out much. Just am putting teams in so I can show this to you, what you can do with this kind of mode. So don't be judging the team selections here. I don't intend to keep this at all. Okay, so there's 8 teams. You then go to the next step and you can create the exhibition tournament. Matchups can be configured in the next step of the process here. Let this load up here. And when we get to configuring this, here I will demonstrate where out of the park, like 18 and actually out of the park 19 was the first version in which you can do this, and out of the park 20 differ here. In out of the park 19, all you could do with historical tournaments was either single elimination or best of series style tournament. It's basically a regular tournament mode. You can say you have a regular tournament mode, you can still dictate who faces who by selecting the team from the drop-down menus in the bracket. You can set the names for each round and the round initials. You can choose whether it's best of 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. And again, the series mode, 2 home, 3 away, 2 home. There's various options for it. Depends on how you want to play and how creative you want to get. But that is how you set up a regular tournament mode. Tournament bracket. But with Out of the Park 20, they have gone and they have improved this, and so this is why I highly recommend Out of the Park 20, is because you can now opt for 2 other types: modified double elimination, this style of tournament will proceed with a double elimination tournament for the first 2 rounds, after which it will drop into a standard single elimination bracket of the remaining teams. So what's going to happen is eventually you basically have for double elimination basically means you lose your first matchup, you're not out. You're not eliminated, however, you go into sort of a loser's bracket. And in the loser's bracket, at that point, if you end up in the loser's bracket, you are indeed vulnerable to elimination. If you lose again, that would be your second loss, and you will be eliminated from the tournament. That's how double elimination essentially works. Modified double elimination means it is double elimination up to a certain round. When it reaches that certain round, which it looks like in this case is round number 3, it becomes a single elimination tournament. So after round 3's matchups, be they best of series or one game, single game, only the winners advance to the final round. That is how that works. The other method for tournaments that is new for historical tournaments is going to be round robin. How this works is the first round will match teams in groups of 4 in a small round robin tournament, with the top 2 in each pool moving to a single elimination bracket. That is basically how round robin works. Now, in order for you to be able to have round robin, your tournament must be a multiple of 4, essentially, size. you have to have 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, those kind of numbers in order for this to work properly. So you can assign teams to whatever pool you want. Then you can also, for round 1, rename the round like normal. You can set how many days the round will last. You can set it also to single round robin, double round robin. Where each team plays 2 games against each other in the mini round robin group. Triple, which is 3 games against each other. Quad, which is 4. Quint, which is 5, and Hex, which is 6 games against each other if you really want to get crazy. And then the top 2 teams go on to the next round, and from there it becomes a single elimination tournament, be it a best of 7 series, best of 1, best of 3, best of 5, or best of 7, best of 9, whatever you choose. So that is how you do that. And then you set it up based upon that. So that is how historical exhibition works. Let's see, how is everybody doing here? Ken Castro has joined us and has a question. 2 questions, Robbie. How much, and 19th century teams included, how much, you mean how much does the game cost? 19th century teams, I don't think are in there. I wish Beatles was still around because he would be able to say for sure. Yeah. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this up for modified double elimination just to have a look at it and confirm it. So we set it up for modified double elimination for this one. And you can go to play ball and you can choose which series you want to play. You can select each series up here on the bar and go in and play whichever game on the day you want to play. You can also view the bracket, the matchups, and this is a bracket view sort of the tournament. Round 1 I have set to best of 3. So that is how you do that. You can have rosters and lineups, teams and rules, which is no longer set, which can no longer be changed. And that is how you do that. And that's basically how you set up a historical tournament. Costs, okay. Okay, you want me to open up my browser? I'll open up my browser for you. We will go up there, out of the park, developments, and I will pull up the website for you. And as you can see, there is various methods you can get. You can get it Accelerate on their website. You can get it on Steam, Origin, Discover, And going to the web store. And this is what the price I'm going to quote is what they have on their web store. And this is weird because it shows, why does it show franchise Hockey Manager 5? I don't want that. Oh, I know why. Haha. Okay. I'm on the wrong page. Okay, there we go. Out of the Park Baseball 20 PC and Mac edition on their store is $39.99. You can get a Steam key as well for $39.99. So yeah, it's practically $40, 1 cent less than $40 for the game, either through Steam key or through directly on their web store. So that is how much it costs to do that. You're welcome, Ken Castro. Hope that helped. Okay, so we're doing good here. Let's go back to the main screen. I'm not going to keep that tournament. I will probably exit and come up with another historical tournament that I really want to play at some point with Beal's help, maybe Ken's as well. And you guys want to see a game? I'll show you a little bit of how a game plays and Out of the Park. So we'll go back to historical exhibition. Let it load. And it's come up. Okay, so we're just gonna do modern times. Let's just do modern. And we're just going to do 2018, the away team, Tampa Bay, (2018) for the home team, and we're going to do, what are we going to do? We're going to do Texas Rangers, why not? And we're just going to make it one game. Designated hitter should be on. They're both American League teams. And we're going to create this exhibition. This way I can show how a game goes in a one-off exhibition game that I probably won't finish. Well, I'll probably auto-finish it after the stream is over and all that. So yeah, I just intend to play a couple innings on Out of the Park here to show you how this works. Okay, and we're ready to play ball. So we're going to play. You have the option to play or simulate, as you saw with the tournament mode there. So we're going to play. Here is where you set the lineup. You see the lineups, the matchups, and the team logos in the middle here show who each individual matchup basically favors. So as you can see, a lot of these matchup favor Tampa Bay. So, and you can set it all to human manager or control by the AI. I'm going to set it control by the AI. Various options: use warm-up rule, auto sit relievers. You can choose the ballpark. Then you have modern 3D view, modern 2D view, classic 3D view, classic 2D view, classic webcast view. I like the modern view because the modern view came about being modern 3D and modern 2D view came about being last year and Out of the Park 19. I particularly love it because, and you'll see why when we get into the game. So we're going to start this game. Check on the chat here while it's loading up. See how everybody's doing. Seems to load up pretty slow, and I don't know if that's OBS doing that, causing that, or what. Raining where you are, Robbie? No, it stopped raining, and that's why I'm able to stream tonight. No more thunderstorms. No more thunderstorms. Okay. Alright, here we are. It finally loaded up. It was a bit slow, and as you can see, this is not Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Apparently, sometimes the 3D view does not have the proper ballparks, and I think that has something to do with what Beatles was saying about ballparks and how to do them. But, yeah. So, as you can see, this is the game screen, and this is why I really like the modern view. Look at the scoreboard up here in the top left. It has a modern, almost like a TV broadcast feel to it, look to it, and I really, 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 really like that. It really is nice with the team logos, team colors, and such in there. So, yeah. So I have set the AI to manage both teams, and that's the way we're going to leave it. And we are going to get this started a little bit, just for a couple innings or so, just so you guys can see how this plays in 3D view. Smith will lead it off for Tampa Bay. So what you do is you just click this button that says continue, and the play-by-play comes up. And it's got rain in the forecast, so... And there's a strikeout to start the game. You then hit any key or click the mouse to continue after that play is done, and there's one out. Matt Duffy now's the next hitter. And one thing about this is you can watch the players and the 3D animation go here. And I know that that's a base hit, and so one thing I want to do here is I want to go to options. I want to go to game options because there's something really bothering me here. Oh, I can't change its ball size. I should have done that before. Sorry, but the ball size is small, but you can make it bigger. So we're just going to go back to game action. And there's a runner on first and one out for Wendell. And the pitch. And that's a home run, and Tampa Bay has a 2-0 lead. The next batter is a strikeout. 2 away. Ramos hitting now with 2 outs. And that's a walk. Curveball in the dirt, ball 4. So this is kind of how the game plays out here. And you can go at your own pace and take a break when you need to. So you guys want to see more, or I can finish the inning here. Let me finish the inning real quick. Let's see who we have to bat. Denard Span. And that's a fly out to the right field, and the inning is over. So after one half of an inning, Tampa Bay leads Texas 2-0. So let's check on y'all here real quick and see how y'all are doing. I really noticed with 3D view that this game is not streamed very well, so I may, when I stream, opt for a different view. Hopefully anyone's still here. Well, you're still here, Amanda. That's good. Yeah, I think if I stream this game, it will not be in 3D view because I just saw a bit of it and it does not work. So I'll probably do modern 2D view. So you all good? You want to see any more, or? What here? You're good? Okay. You're good, Amanda? Okay. Yeah, and one thing I highly recommend, especially if you're new to Out of the Park, new to baseball in general, just let the computer manage the teams. It'll do everything. It'll make substitutions, call for hit and run, bunts, make pitching changes all by itself. The AI will do all that for you for both teams. You can just sit back and play out the game and watch a baseball game that way. It's not like Apple Baseball. It doesn't have Ernie Harwell. Now, if it did, it would be the complete baseball game. And Beatles and I have discussed that many times, and we agree that if Out of the Park got a vocal announcer to do play-by-play in this game like Apple for Windows has and Ernie Harwell, it would be a complete sim. It would be the absolute complete game at this point. At that point. Yeah, 3D view is bad for streaming. Yeah. Yeah, and I just, this is the first time I've really streamed with a 3D view in Out of the Park, so At least now I know not to try it again, but I did want to show it off in what 3D view looks like, so you get a sense of kind of what it does look like here. So yeah, so one other thing I would like to show off, and I'll show this off to kind of finish out this game and finish out the stream, is that you can also quick play an at-bat. You can quick play until there's runners in scoring position. That's what RISP means. And what runners in scoring position means is having at least a team having at least a runner on second base. That is considered having a runner in scoring position, because it's far easier on a base hit for a runner on second to go around third and score than it is for a runner on first to try to go all the way around second, all the way around third, and try to score on a base hit, because they're more likely going to either stop at third or get thrown out at the plate unless they're really fast. So that's what that means. You can autoplay the half inning. You can autoplay until the next inning, autoplay the second, third, fourth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, or you can autoplay the entire game, which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to autoplay the entire game now. It asks you, are you sure? I'm going to say yes, I'm sure. And the Rangers end up winning this 5-3. And when the game finishes, there comes your box score. Comes up your box score with all your various stats and all that. And so that is how that works. And then you click leave game. And that's it. The Texas Rangers defeat the Tampa Bay Rays 5-3 in an exhibition game. And that will finish the game, finish the series basically, and that is the end of that exhibition. So that is how that works. So at this point, does anybody have any questions about Out of the Park baseball? I'm watching myself here, and wow, the stream is kind of behind. I wonder if I can fix that. Yeah, I can. I was behind, apparently. But now I'm up to live. So I just want to see if anybody has any questions about Out of the Park baseball. Again, I'm showing this on Out of the Park 20, so depending upon what version you have, maybe a little different for you. I do highly recommend getting Out of the Park 20 though, as the latest version always has the newest stuff. Thank you very much, Robbie, for showing that. You're quite welcome, Amanda. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions out there? None I can think of? Okay. And it seems like you're the only one left in here, Amanda. I don't know what happened to Ken Castro or anything. Maybe he went to buy the game. I don't know. Hopefully he did, you know. I mean, it is a complete sandbox for a baseball sim. It is a great game. It is one of my favorites, although app for Windows is also pretty much on top there, as well as 4th Street. So I have quite a few baseball sims I play with, and well, Out of the Park is one of them. I like doing international tournaments with Out of the Park baseball, which you can do. If y'all want to see that, I'll be happy to show you a tutorial on how to do that sometime. You can easily add in tournaments to your leagues, and they're quite fun. Kept having to refresh to catch up. I'm not sure why, but yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Amanda. Yep, I think that's going to do it then, if nobody else has anything else here. I will be back again probably tomorrow night, where we could do at least one game in Ernie Harwell, if you want to do. May do a doubleheader tomorrow night, I don't know. It just depends upon the Action PC game release for the will not be said as with it does not upset Beatles eternally. Yeah, because I did pre-order that, so I do want to be able to have a look at that and all that. I may just have a look at it off camera and show it off another time and do an Ernie Harwell game. I could do the doubleheader, maybe. We'll just play that by ear, but we will get the doubleheader in and make up for last night, most definitely, because I want to have the max number of streams completed before I do have to go back to work. So woo, I made it to the end, and I'm across the other side of the world. Well, pond anyway. Yep. So that'll just about do it for tonight. I'd like to thank Amanda, Ken Castro, Beatles Eternally, Remember the Great Sports, Greg Lane for stopping on in, Al Red Sox fan as well. Let's see, did we have anybody else in the chat? Only goes up to a certain point. I don't think I missed anybody. So, yep, I'd like to thank you all, as well as anybody that came in tonight that did not chat. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. Hit that like button down below. And if you're watching this on demand, hope you enjoy it as well. And that's very informative.